don't think that burger has agreed with me too much. So
Oh,
no.
legit?
sounds.
You know,
There's going to be some sounds coming through.
you know what's really funny? There was an episode of have you guys seen Nailed It?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh, funniest cooking show ever.
I wouldn't have guessed that was a cooking show.
Yeah.
No, like
So
nails or-
it's actually about everyday chefs. Well, they're just like, you know, mums and dads or whatever.
Right.
And they think they can cook, but they can. They're terrible. They're the worst, and it's the best show ever. You should watch it.
Gonna make me a
They're like
mean
20-minute
sandwich.
20-minute episodes. They make them bake like extravagant cakes and stuff, and they turn out the worst. It's actually hilarious. Anyway, there was this one time where a guest host decided to just he had to go pick up his kid midway through filming. And just left. He like took a call while they were recording, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, I actually got to go pick up my kid." And then he came back later.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah.
Got my kid, we're fine.
Anyway,
Yeah,
That's
so
good.
like, we can
you could do that.
now.
You could do that. I thought that would be funny.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I'm
just
just going to
leave.
duck out for a second.
Yes, make some random as excuse.
Oh, I've got to go feed my pet goldfish
Yeah.
to my turtle. I gotta go.
This is so elaborate.
Wow.
Well, it needs to be believable.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Is it
Sounds
though?
good.
That's less believable now. I
reckon?
think so.
Wait, should we start this thing or?
I'm starting with what we just
Oh,
did.
cool. Yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good. Well, I mean, go
That's it.
ahead and
It's already
intro
started.
forth.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Should we
oh,
start
That's it.
singing?
Oh,
Podcast
wait, do we need
host.
to introduce ourselves?
No, I'm going to do the intro.
Okay,
but
do the-
I'm, is this your first time, Alex?
Yes, this is my first time.
Oh, no.
So,
Why did I just say that?
well, you're just that face of regret. Why did I do that? I just felt like your story was great, so
Yeah, it
I'm going to
was.
start with your
It was a good
story.
story. I
and
always
then-
have good stories.
That's good.
You
Like
too.
last one where I found $50.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay,
Continue
anyway.
on, please. Move on.
All right.
Yeah, now start.
Yeah, we'll do the intro. Can I start?
Yeah, do the
Is it
intro.
okay? Yeah. Okay.
No, go for it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, go for it. Yeah, it's good.
It's just going to be me wheezing for like 2 hours.
Trying. No, do the
Okay.
intro. Yeah.
Okay. Hello and welcome to Thermaltake, the official Thermaltake Australia podcast. In today's podcast, we'll be talking about the 2019 Game Awards, discuss another community topic, and talk about an alternative new way to get good at gaming. As always, you're joined by me, your host Sarah, and today we're also joined by
Alex.
And Jono.
So you snuck in there quickly.
I had to search
I
for my
knew
name for a
the
second.
whole time you guys were just giggling to yourselves during my
Oh
intro.
man, that was tough.
That was. I'm glad we got through it though.
We're done. All right. We out.
Fine.
Okay.
We're good. Cool.
time.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me. This is the final podcast of the year, actually, as well.
wow.
So I guess, Alex, actually interesting, like you guys were kind of both on the first podcasts we did.
Yeah,
and
one
now
of the first.
Yes.
You're going to be, because
Yeah.
you were on our first video and you were on our first ever.
Just
Yeah.
audio.
and then
Just wasn't
audio.
cool enough.
Yeah.
didn't make the
I
cut,
just
I'm
do the
afraid.
video. Yeah.
And now you're going to be in the final one of the year. It's kind of
Look at this.
poetic.
Yes.
It was
Oh.
not planned that way,
It
but
was planned.
I took her out.
you made sure of
I
it.
eliminated
I eliminated
Taylor.
the competition.
But Taylor's not even here today, so you really
Exactly.
did. Yeah, not here, huh? Taking a holiday, a long holiday.
Staying at home watching
Uh-huh.
movies.
Yeah, that's the story.
Yes.
That's the story we're going. Good old movies.
Yeah. Anyway, do the intro.
I already did the intro.
right.
I can't do the intro again.
sorry.
I've already introed. But anyway, so I did have a topic I was going to start with that was like a thing I was going to bring up.
Oh, okay.
But now that we're here and we've giggled for like 10 minutes, I can't remember what the topic was that I was going to
Oh,
bring up at the beginning.
such a shame. Johnny, why did you come up with that
I-
story?
Yeah, I know. I got
don't-
distracted.
I can't even remember what it was, to be honest with you. So,
What? My story?
yeah, whatever the story
They
was.
nailed it.
Ah, there we go. Yeah, see,
on, man.
look, dude,
Wow.
things go
Wow.
in and then
So much is
exit
going on.
quite quickly.
Maybe go feed your goldfish.
Yeah, right.
I've only got 4 gig of
No,
DDR2
we're
memory
feeding-
in my head. So.
No, you need to upgrade that.
No,
Yeah, dude.
You reckon?
Yeah. I thought you were feeding your goldfish to your turtle.
I was. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah, so midway
Yeah.
through, I do need to leave. I have to
Yeah.
feed my pet turtle, my pet goldfish. Yeah.
Do you feed the
Yes.
goldfish first so it's like full and like
Ooh.
ready, and then
And
do you
plump.
feed the turtle? Can you have, this is a dumb question, but like, do fish get fat? Like, I think I've ever seen a fish that I'm like, oh, that's a plump fish.
I mean, yeah.
I've never referred to a
I think
fish
they
as
just grow.
before.
I think they just grow, right?
Yeah, they just
Like,
get big in general.
Yeah, because they're always like exercising, they're swimming.
Well, actually, no. Goldfish
Is
eat
it-
each other, and then they eat the little other fish too. If you've ever,
Legit.
yeah, they just like
I
you
didn't
can't
know
tell
that.
when they do it though. You just come back to the fish
Yes.
tank 3 hours later, and there's 4 fish
Right.
missing. You're like, oh, where'd they go?
Where'd the other one go?
Well, you look pretty big, so I'm guessing it was you.
In my high school, we had fish in our homeroom, and there was like 4 or 5 different fish, and one was a goldfish, and one was like a completely black fish. And then one time we went on holiday,
didn't see colour.
we came back,
burnt.
and then the blackfish was gone, but the goldfish had like spots of black all over it, and we have no idea what happened. Like, did it absorb the other fish or something? Like,
It's getting ready for something.
right? I was like, what happened to the
The
other
end is
fish?
near.
Yeah, and I think slowly all the other fish just disappeared, and then the only one was left was the goldfish.
That's
and
it.
he became a big boy.
Goldfish are
Savage.
taking over the world.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Like, 3-second attention span. They forget what they eat. So.
That's right. Constantly hungry because they forgot they've eaten.
I'm a vegan. No, now I'm a carnivore. So
I forgot again.
straight up.
Yeah.
up, change.
What a journey. Right, well, I'm so glad we started the first 10 minutes of the podcast talking about fish.
If people are still listening, well,
It's
thank you.
It's continuing
We
our...
appreciate you.
Thanks for sticking around. Put
Thanks.
those car windows down and enjoy the rest of the
Just
podcast.
let everyone else hear as well the complete madness of this conversation.
Yeah.
We've got a bit of a trend. We talked about cows last podcast, and now talked about fish.
Oh.
It's an animal trend.
I was actually, you didn't say that you didn't bring us here on our wheels. You didn't say that, and generally you do.
Would you like me to?
Yeah, well, I was thinking like maybe
Did you
we
have a
should,
bit set
yeah,
up?
like maybe we should have a bit
Okay,
about it
all right.
because like actually it's been funny. Like every podcast, I think someone said something about it.
Yeah.
Starting with me, I think, and then
Yes.
I heard Jillian say something about it.
Yeah.
In the last one, and I'm like, this could be a thing.
Okay.
This could be a thing.
Is
But
it a thing now that we've
no,
called it out,
no,
though?
it's too late now. I think the
Yeah.
moment's passed. We should just move on.
Well, I did say thank you for being here.
Yes.
So that could have been an opening.
Ah, sorry, I missed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I wasn't clued on then.
Ah,
Sorry.
you're still not over the initial fish story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fish getting eaten by the turtle.
Yeah. Righto. Well, on that,
What a
maybe,
podcast.
What a podcast.
I don't even anymore.
So many episode titles we're going to have to choose from with
Yes.
this bad boy. I'm excited. All right, so we'll go on to our first topic of the day, which is we kind of can't not talk about the Game Awards. I feel it did happen a couple weeks ago, a couple Fridays ago.
Last week?
It wasn't last Friday, it was the Friday before.
Yes, correct.
Yes. So, but that was the same week we recorded a podcast, so we haven't had a podcast since then. So I thought we should have a chat about it. We did do a live stream of it as well, so thanks if anyone's listening who did actually come to that. We did a live reaction to it. You can check it out still on our Twitch account, twitch.tv/ I think it's Thermaltake ANZ.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't confirm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a Twitch noob.
I think so, yeah.
Because I saved it as a highlight, so it'll
did
be on
ya?
there forever.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because otherwise
Excellent.
they disappear
Disappear.
after 2 weeks, I think it is. So I was like, just in case.
Nice.
Yeah, I thought ahead.
And that's our first Twitch stream for at least a year.
At least a
First-
year,
yeah,
yeah. Yes, my favorite thing is the only other real thing on the account is you streaming, and it's just this conversation that you're having with someone in chat. I can't see the chat anymore, but someone said something about where's that like short girl gone, and you were like, oh, Jillian. I was
Vertically
like, oh.
challenged she is.
Yeah.
I love
I
it.
need to say.
But anyway,
PC
so,
Because she's... Yeah.
Vertically challenged.
Is that why you love her?
What?
Because she's vertically challenged?
Yeah.
no, it was just that like they didn't say Jillian's name, but you just knew
Oh,
straight
I
away
knew
who
it was
they were
Jillian,
referring
yeah.
to. That's what it was.
That was funny. That was like my first 2 weeks at the company.
Yeah. See, I like mad props for you for doing the whole PAX thing in your first
Yeah.
2 weeks. Because like
Smashed
it was
it.
awkward enough when I'd been here for like 3 months and I was like, I
Really?
don't know anybody still.
Oh,
So I feel like 2 weeks is like, wow.
I was just like, I got to own this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be awkward. you
Yeah.
know? I think that's the same with every situation.
Yeah.
You got to be confident and own it.
Yeah.
And if you're confident in owning it, nothing's awkward.
And if you're not feeling confident, you just fake it till you make it
Fake it
sometimes.
till you make it, yeah.
That's
real.
it.
That's what my life's about.
We should have like a...
Yeah.
We should definitely do like a philosophical type
Ooh.
podcast in future.
Yeah.
Maybe for, I think, May's Mental Health Awareness Month. Maybe we'll do something
That's
for
good,
that.
yeah.
That could be interesting.
Yeah, that sounds good.
That could be a cool idea.
Anyway.
Teaser for a May podcast. All right, so anyway, moving on to the topic again. So the Game Awards happened, so I thought we'd have a little bit of a chat about that. Like I said, we were all there for not all of the podcast, but Alex and I were there for most of the...
I was there all the way up until the last 5 minutes.
Right. And then Jono bailed within 10 minutes in. Jono was like, I'm out.
I was waiting for that dude, that Jeff bloke.
Jeff.
Oh, my name is Dave.
Yeah, I was waiting for
Love
him to rock
Jeff.
up, and he eventually made his way through LA traffic and got to the venue
Yeah.
and said some things, and I ducked because stuff.
Jeff was just
And
too
things.
overwhelming for you.
Things, yeah, exactly. He was too intense for
Yeah.
me, actually.
Too much testosterone for you. You just had to get
I
out of
couldn't,
there.
I couldn't deal with all the advertising and stuff, so I had to bail.
Wow. Wow.
All the people selling out, and that sort of stuff.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So, was there any particular trailers or anything that was of interest to any of you guys? Anything that stood out to you at the event that you thought might be
There was
interesting?
a few games that I liked the look of. Except I do not enjoy the hype that gets put on trailers
Yeah.
and games and
Yeah.
new game releases. I sort of feel like that can also, as you increase expectation for a game release, once you start to play it, if your expectations aren't met, it's like, this isn't that good.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's an easy way to let yourself down.
Yeah, kinda.
So
Yeah.
I don't like getting too much into the hype of new game releases, but the things that looked really good was Godfall.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yes.
That looked really cool. It looked
That
like
did
a
look interesting.
A bit of like a almost like a Hercules type game, because I saw like the three monster. I don't know what you
The
call it.
Hydra.
The
Hydra, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, the Hydra.
Yeah.
Yeah, that coming out of the sky. That was cool. And the remake of Final Fantasy VII looked good. Although I've never played any of them.
Neither.
Yeah, neither have
I just like the animation of
I
it.
need to. Yeah.
But
It just
yeah,
seems
I think
to
we're
be-
saying like you need to get like right into it because it's a whole
Right.
ordeal.
Need to invest into
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Invest a fair bit of time.
I think it's one of those things where when the series is so big and the fan base is so big, it's just like kind of overwhelming to try and join it, I feel.
Yeah.
So I feel like that was a few different series where I'm just like, it's just, I don't want to touch it because
Yeah.
like it's just, there's so much and it's just kind of overwhelming almost for a noob.
You sort of need to be in the mental space to be like, okay, I'm ready to absorb all this information.
Right?
Give it to me.
Yes.
My life is at a point where I don't have to focus on anything for the next
like
2 years.
exactly. So time to get into Final Fantasy.
Yeah, let's get into Final Fantasy.
Let's
I'm
go.
I've just
I'm ready.
entered jail for a 24-month
Yeah,
term.
right? Perfect time to
go.
start.
Let's go.
Yeah, interesting.
yeah.
For me, I find that the trailers are really cool, but they never really show off any gameplay.
True.
You know, they're awesome looking trailers. Like I think trailers in general have come so far. Like they all tell small little narratives, and I think they're easy to create because you just need to create hype, and that's what they're for. But but the thing is, none of them really show any gameplay.
That's true.
Like I think there was a couple, like probably 3 or 4, I think, that showed gameplay. And Gears of War Tactics was one of them.
Yes, true.
It's interesting because I'm a huge fan of Gears of War. I mean, Exhibit A, right there.
Our lads.
Yeah.
And weapons.
So I'm really interested in that because it's a new path for them, and for that genre is pretty interesting. So I'm looking forward to that. But overall, I found there wasn't anything that kind of like grabbed my interest other than that. Like, God's Fall looked sweet, but I don't know what the game's like at all.
Yeah, exactly. Like it
Just
looks
looks
awesome.
cool.
That's right.
Yeah, and Apex, like, I mean, wasn't that much interesting of a trailer for me anyway. I mean, it just showed off a new game mode, but it didn't
Yeah.
even
Yeah.
really show it off properly. It just showed costumes, which, you know, they're like,
I did
hey.
enjoy Mirage's little
Yeah.
interaction with Jeff, though. I thought that was really
pretty
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, it's weird because I don't find anything other than like Gears Tactics, and it hasn't even really sold me, but out of all of them, that's what I was kind of the most interested in.
Yeah.
We should probably preface this with John and I haven't watched a Game Awards.
Yes,
Ever
true.
before.
Yeah. When me and Taylor were talking about everybody watching it, like, I don't think anybody else were like, everyone else was like, what the hell's the Game
Yeah.
Awards? Like,
What
no
is
one else
that?
had an idea. Whereas Taylor and I were like, oh my God, the Game Awards.
Yeah.
So we fully nerded
Yeah.
out. So, but yeah, true. You guys hadn't seen one before.
Yeah,
So-
I mean, Taylor did watch it last year in the office. He had it up on
Oh, really?
on his second screen when we were back in the other old office, and you were there at that
I
time.
would have been, yeah.
Yeah,
He did.
He was
Yeah,
he was
now I
streaming
remember
it all
it now.
day and was talking about it.
Yeah, and I was
all
like,
day, and we're like,
oh.
ah, sick, dude.
That's good for you,
Cool.
man.
You guys are like, ooh.
I'm just going to get back to my work.
Yeah. I'm just gonna get back to streaming YouTube all day.
Yes, work.
Research. Yeah, so yeah, he was pretty keen. So that's why I don't know, when you obviously expressed interest in it as well, Sarah. That's when I'm like, okay, let's go ahead with this live stream thing.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
I
it
enjoyed
was
the
cool.
live stream though.
That was cool.
It was fun. I think we'll definitely try and do something like that again. Not sure
Yeah.
what with.
Probably next year though, right?
Yeah, in 2020, Alex. Yeah. Well, no, because we're
Slip
talking
the
about
next year joke in.
we're talking about live streaming this eventually, which will be interesting to do.
Oh,
Yeah.
So
are we?
yeah.
Oh, cool.
So
Yeah.
which will be fun. The saddest thing is we probably won't be able to talk to the chat too much because
I reckon we can work it out.
well, because then it would be a bit weird for people listening back.
Oh,
I'd
yeah.
say we probably have to have a segment at the beginning and the end where we can talk
Yeah,
and
yeah.
have the interaction, but for the podcast,
So you can sort
stuff,
of cut it and then
Yeah,
can-
and
yeah.
then so it would
Yep.
be a bit easier. But yeah, that could be fun. So
and a real live one too would be cool if we could do a PAX panel as well.
yeah,
Oh, true.
that's
would
what
be
I'm
pretty
hoping
awesome.
for
Yeah.
next year.
Ooh.
So we have the ability to. They're pretty good like that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Cool.
I think it'd be fun. Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
I mean, I guess the biggest disappointment is that both me and Taylor are big Dragon Age fans, and so last year they had that little teaser for Dragon Age 4, and then they didn't really do anything this year, so that sucked. We were definitely hoping for something, but nothing.
It's sort of annoying that they can just release something like that and then just tear down your hopes and dreams.
I mean, like, you're not wrong, because like they did tease that, and they've said nothing really else about it. In fact, the only thing that seems to be happening with BioWare right now is people are leaving. That's it. Like in between, like the Dragon Age 4 and now, like Dragon Age 4 teaser, and now Anthem came out, bombed cataclysmically, and then everyone's been leaving. So it's kind of like why did you put the teaser out if you A, had nothing else to show us, and B, everyone's leaving? Like, what's going on? Like, it seems really, it's a bit of a concern because that series is very, very beloved. So, but I was sad about that. But I also was really happy to see Wolf Among Us. I don't know if you guys have played The Wolf Among Us. It's the Telltale game.
No.
Really good. If you're going to ever play a Telltale game, it would be the one I would recommend to start off with. It's a really, really good game.
Yeah, you and Taylor both seemed quite interested in that.
Yes, because I wasn't expecting to see that at all. Because I don't know if you guys knew about the stuff that happened with Telltale, how they closed down and they went into like bankruptcy, and all the workers got laid off with no what's the word? There's a word for it where you don't get any pay. It's like
No compensation.
Oh, there's a
no, I know what
word.
you're talking about, like redundancy pay, but
yeah, there's
sure.
like a specific word that they use, but they didn't get anything for that. They all just got let go like that.
Wow.
Studio, it was a colossal disaster, basically. But then another company came in and bought the Telltale name to reopen a different studio. So they just bought the name, and then they also got the rights to some of their stuff, which is the Batman series they had and the Wolf Among Us. They haven't confirmed anything else. So Wolf Among Us came out in 2013 or 2014, I want to say, like a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
And or maybe even sooner, maybe it was like 15. Regardless, it was at least 5 years ago because I played it before I moved. So it had to have been at least 5 years ago. And then out of nowhere, they're like, because they talked about doing Wolf Among Us 2 and then the studio closed. So then everyone was like, oh, there
That's
goes
it.
that. But yeah, then out of nowhere, the studio got bought, and then this trailer just dropped randomly, and yeah, it was quite exciting to see because we were wanting it for a long time. So that was probably my standout, and it was like 2 seconds. So it was like 3 hours
Yeah.
for 2 seconds. That was what I was excited for. I don't know if we do predominantly stick with PCs as a topic, but they did announce the new Xbox as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Another PC though. I mean,
Well,
it looks like a
it
PC.
looks like a PC. Yeah, I was like, because I remember when you can go watch the Twitch stream.
The Twitch stream.
The Twitch stream. You can see how all of us are like, what is going on? Like, it's just an ad. Like,
Yeah.
what is this for?
Yeah.
And then eventually, yeah, it's like twirling around in the sea or something, and then it
Yeah.
twirls around, and it's like Xbox, and we were like,
What?
so yeah, like I think it's definitely interesting. A lot of people are talking about the Xbox too, because they said it was called the Xbox One X series. I think that's what it had seemed like it was called, but it's actually just called the Xbox.
Oh,
Yeah, they've just decided to call it the Xbox again.
interesting.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's just called the Xbox. Just
Yeah.
like bringing it up because like it went through a couple of names. Yeah, Xbox 2, but then like the Project Scarlet stuff as well.
Yes.
So kind of hard to guess what
Yeah.
are they deciding on. But it's really odd because if you go try and search for it, like what are you gonna like look for?
Yeah.
Xbox.
Because then, and like someone else pointed out how it's going to be very confusing for like parents and grandparents buying their consoles for their kids because they're going to be like, I want the Xbox. And they'll be like, which one?
Yeah.
Like the new one?
I want
Like-
the Xbox.
Yeah. Like,
Got me the
Which
Xbox.
box do you want? The black one. That one there. It's a cube. It's interesting, actually. I really like the form factor.
Yeah, me too. I like the small
It's
form
pretty
factor, sort of.
exciting. That kind of design for a console is pretty sick.
yeah.
But I do think it's going to be an annoyance for a lot of people trying to fit it into their
Yeah,
like, TV
that's
cabinets.
what a lot of people have been saying, how it's not a good space, like size and shape for like just
Yeah.
putting it with their general.
living
living room
like,
setup.
You know, I don't know how big it is. I should look at the dimensions and whatnot, but you probably could obviously rotate it horizontally and then maybe it'll fit into normal TV units.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
either way, I do think a lot of people have the open, like the open TV cabinets where you sit stuff on top and you have the
Yeah.
floating TV nowadays. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
So, yeah, I don't know. It looks pretty modern, so I'm pretty exciting looking
Yeah,
little
I'd be keen to
Yeah.
see more.
Although it is a console and it's not a PC, but I'm pretty excited for just
Yeah.
the way it looks. It looks pretty awesome.
I've always found consoles to be quite fascinating to like look across over the years and see how they've changed and grown alongside PCs as well. I don't know, and like because there's that talk about is it AMD who are supplying
Yeah.
Yes.
the CPUs for them, which is also really interesting.
Very
So
exciting.
it is. I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it's almost like more of a PC now than ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like it's gonna like I think what is the goal for consoles? Is it to kind
Yeah.
of blur that line between PCs and consoles more and more? Is that the end goal?
I
or-
just hope, like,
I
they
don't
get
know.
as close to PCs as possible because I hate horrible ported games.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, look, still PCs are still, in my opinion,
Yeah.
better. Let's be honest. But consoles are great if you're someone who likes like Nick. I think Nick's explanation for why he likes consoles more than PCs, I think, actually makes a lot of sense because he was saying about how he prefers to like sit back on the couch and like lay back and like
More
play
couch
that
games,
way.
sort of.
Yeah. Whereas
Yeah.
if he's at a PC, it's more like you're more upright. You're more like
Single player sort of.
yeah, so like if you
by
want to just
yourself.
chill out and relax and you don't feel like sitting up and being all like this, I can understand if you're more of a wanting to just chill.
I never
Yeah.
get that,
Makes
though.
sense.
I can't just chill.
And play games.
No?
Yeah. No, like...
Or just in general, can't just
No,
chill.
no, I
no
can
chill for Jono,
I can
ever.
definitely,
Jono, no chill.
definitely chill. Just when it comes to games, I want to be engaged with it. So, and I get quite competitive.
Well, you play a lot of competitive shooters though.
Yeah.
If you're playing
Yeah.
a game like I don't know, something chill like The Last of Us where you're doing a lot of walking around and exploring, maybe
Yeah.
you don't need to be as like the whole time,
Accurate.
Like what?
click. Yeah. I don't know. Like, I can't even remember the last proper single player game I played. I did play Gears, but I enjoyed that. I like being, pretty engaged in at the forefront. So playing it on PC, so I could, even with like single player stuff, I get a little bit competitive. So, like being able to blast through a level pretty quickly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So,
You're weird.
I can't do it, man. I can't do
Can't?
chill. Like sitting on a couch playing a game, I just can't do it. Like,
Yeah.
you guys never, like, when you had consoles before PCs, I don't know if you guys actually ever delved in console gaming, but even then I would, like, get off the couch and you'd get serious by sitting closer to the TV.
Yeah, you sit on the floor.
wow.
Yeah.
So me and my brother would do the same thing. Like, we'd start off at the couch, like, oh yeah, we're not going to try hard, and then next
Right.
2 minutes in, we're both like in front of the TV. So
It's getting
Wow.
real now.
yeah.
That's
No,
right.
it's never like that.
Oops.
Yeah, I was trying to. I think when I was really young, I think maybe I was more sitting back on the couch. But ever since I've got back into gaming, I've had my console at my desk. So I haven't had the couch set up anymore. It's at my desk now, and I've gotten kind of so used to that I don't think I could go back to having it on my couch anymore.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like I get used to the closeness and the sort of I don't know. But I will sit back, admittedly. Like, I'll sit back in my big chair and, like, play like this instead of being, like, forwards. Yeah, my big boy chair.
A big boy chair.
It does tower over me, though. Like, my chair is, like, back up here.
Really?
My
That's
dad
the big
describes
uns.
it as, like, my Darth Vader chair or, like, my
wow.
Palpatine chair. 'Cause you know how
yes.
Palpatine has the big chair that goes around him? That's basically what I look like in my chair.
Cool.
A throne.
A little bit, yeah. My gamer throne.
I think with consoles, the best way to explain it is when you're wanting to have people over. That's what I find that the difference between PC games and
True.
console games is, like, they're more for inviting people over, having people over,
Yeah.
and playing games with them. But I do like that there are some PC games that if you have the controllers, you can still play on PC.
Yeah.
Like some of the games that I love and have played with Jono is like Ultimate Chicken Horse, which is a great game. Weird name, yes.
Yeah,
but,
It's
once you
funny.
get into
So
it,
many
it's
questions
great.
now.
It's
Fantastic.
It's a fantastic game.
Okay. Would recommend.
Would recommend.
On Alex's recommended
yes,
list.
Yeah.
definitely would recommend.
It's great.
But you do need controllers to play it.
Yeah.
And so, yeah.
I think I do agree with that. And it does make you wonder why there's not more support for, like, split screen anymore. So many games do not support local co-op anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like, hold on, like, a huge appeal of consoles is that you can bring over your buddy and play games. Like, Halo back in the day, you could do the whole freaking campaign with your friend.
Yeah.
I played through all the Halo 3 with my brother. Like, I was the Arby.
Humble brag.
Got to be Arby.
Humble back.
Wow.
That era, yeah.
Is
the
that a
split
humble
screen
brag?
era is
Yeah.
gone.
You reckon?
I reckon.
I don't think so.
I'm just calling it.
Okay.
Say what you like.
Oh, okay. That's how it is.
Actually, my first LAN experience was console. It was
Really?
before PC. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's so weird.
So before Age of Empires 1, because that was my first LAN game on PC. I believe on PlayStation 1, it was Crash Bandicoot.
Oh.
Nice.
The go-kart one.
Crash
Team
Racing?
Crash Team Racing,
Yeah.
yeah. There was that, and there was also another game that's kind of like essentially like a death race, if you know that movie, where you had vehicles, you would blow each other up. You're on like on different tracks, and some would have rocket launchers and some would have laser beams.
Cool.
I can't even remember what the game was, but those two games were like the first LAN experience and
That's
whatnot. And that was very interesting, actually.
Yeah.
Because you'd have it all on two TVs, but like back then, obviously the TVs are like
Pretty small.
tiny.
And very chunky.
So you get like
Tiny and
a
chunky.
tiny
Yeah.
little piece of screen where you're like,
Yeah.
I can see what I'm doing.
You do that thing where you end up looking at someone else's screen for like 20 minutes and you're like, I'm just driving into a wall.
Yeah.
I hate when that happens.
Screen peeking.
I do that all the time. It's like unintentional screen peeking because you
Yeah.
think it's your screen.
It's yours.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. Why
I am
are you
doing
not turning
terribly.
left now?
Yeah, and you're like, oh.
Or when you say, "Oh, I'm winning," and then someone else is like, "No, you're not. That's me."
You're driving into a wall, mate.
Your own screen.
Switcheroo.
You always win if you're always looking at someone else's screen.
That's my secret cap.
I'm always looking at
other
the wrong
screens. Love it.
screen.
Almost fell off my
yeah.
chair, by the way.
Yeah, I was going to say, I saw Getting into it.
Yeah.
My butt hurts.
That'll be one
man.
for
I'm,
the
like,
video.
Trying to dodge these.
See, I'm getting used to it now. My butt's gotten a
Like,
bit of a
it's
resistance.
numb.
I built up a callus.
Please do not destroy the set. I know it's the last app, but we
Last
need
time I
the
thought I
set.
could go crazy.
Yeah, it's just
I
trash
just
it.
noticed. Are they the headbands from?
Yes,
Oh,
they are. I
they're
put
my
them
headband
there, and
video.
I put the
Pre-loved headbands.
Freaking, that one's coming off.
Oh,
though.
no.
Yeah, I know. I did have to wash my
There've
hands
been some
afterwards.
places. Anyway.
You don't want to know about.
All right, we should get back on the topic, eh?
Yeah.
feel like 20 minutes. So the game of the year ended up going to is it Sekiro? I always say it. I feel like I say it wrong. Which was I didn't really see that coming actually.
Game we don't know
The game
anything about.
that's fine. It is a good game. I would recommend if you're into if you ever wanted to play Dark Souls and games like that because it's made by the same people.
Oh.
But it looks amazing. Like it's such a stunning game. Like just to watch. It's just a beautiful looking game. But anyway, that game ended up winning, which I didn't see coming. I don't know if many people saw it coming, really. I mean, I think people who'd played it were like, yes, definitely. But everybody else, I thought it would be between Death Stranding and, what was the other one? Death Stranding and Control were the two I thought it would be between. But then, I was like, oh, interesting. So, I do find them winning interesting. I mean, it's a good, I think, like I said, everyone who's played it has said it's amazing. But I placed my bets on Death Stranding purely because I felt like it was the game that had been talked about the most over the year. But I guess it comes down to what you determine as Game of the Year. It's such a broad statement, I don't know. To me, I feel Game of the Year should be the game that encapsulates the year that's been talked about the most, that's been discussed the most.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess it depends on what people consider to be Game of the Year, you know?
What do you consider to be Game of the Year?
Yeah, I don't know. What would be your prerequisite for a game winning at something like that, you know?
I don't really. I don't know because how. So it'd have to please the most people, but even then, that could just go to a big franchise game.
Yeah.
And so it's gonna. I don't know. It's really hard to be able to just choose because what do you do? It's all very subjective too. The best a game is subjective. To be honest with you, I'll never play this game.
It's art.
It's art, man. So art is subjective. You can't really have a winner.
That's right.
The eye of the
But I did think Death Stranding was going to take it, but I don't know if that was just because of all the marketing around it all year.
True.
There was, and I did hear of Sekiro, or however you pronounce this game.
I feel like I'm saying it wrong too.
I did hear
feel
because
bad.
I swear that's the movie, but
We should work this out. How do you
Sicario.
How do you spell
Oh,
it?
that is a movie. Is that a movie? Yeah.
So that's the movie.
Oh,
but
it's Sekiro.
That's a lot of S's.
How dare you make fun of my speech impediment? That has plagued me since I was a child, okay?
I don't know. I heard of that game a couple of times throughout the year, but I did hear about Death Stranding a lot more, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, Death Stranding had a huge." I mean, they did win. They did win the sound design and whatnot, which I don't know. With that, they shouldn't have won that because it was just all other artists. But whatever.
Yeah, true. That's a good point, actually. It's Sekiro.
Are you expecting me
Sick.
to? No,
Well, isn't that what you wanted?
No, I wanted to work it out. I'm not saying that I was going to work it
Oh,
out.
I thought.
Work it out.
Whoa.
You underestimate my abilities.
Overestimate, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh,
Very good.
boy. Alrighty. Well, with that, I guess we'll move on to our second topic, which is a bit of a kind of a broader topic, I suppose. This is our community topic. Once again, you guys can submit topics to us to discuss for every podcast on our Discord. So please go join our Discord. And when I pop a little post in there asking for topics, feel free to chuck in your suggestions for us to talk about. Yes.
One thing with that, if you suggest something, you must listen to the whole thing.
As a rule.
We watch
As a general
the
rule.
statistics.
Yeah, we know.
We
The
know
analytics.
who's listening.
And all the I'm just going to see a bar on the stats just go as everyone leaves.
Yeah, but feel free to definitely drop some questions and some topics.
Definitely.
Yeah, they're pretty cool, pretty interesting. I think it's a quick way to just make sure that we're relevant too. Like you want to listen to that stuff, so
That's true.
We will
Just tell
bribe
us.
you into
Yeah.
listening to us.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's going to be me and Jono talking about
Fish and turtles.
fish and turtles.
fish, turtles, and Xbox console design.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, please save us from these two.
Larry, please help. Help, please. Save me.
Okay. So, the community topic for this week is sort of a joint topic because I'm pinching something from what someone said and then from someone else, then popping it together.
Ooh.
And I'm probably going to say you guys'
Conjoined
names
twins.
wrong. Sorry about it. So it's Michael and Power Ranger, and they kind of came to a conclusion of a question that I kind of spliced together for them, which was basically our PC technology
Splicey.
/ gaming predictions for 2020 and what we would like to see next year and what are we kind of looking forward to seeing next year in terms of PC gaming tech kind of stuff. And I don't know if we can say our own stuff.
There's obviously pay attention to CES. That's coming around the corner real soon. That's pretty
Early
big.
Jan.
Lots of cool stuff there. But for me, I think what I'm predicting in terms of PC stuff, or more specifically CPUs, is I'm wondering how Intel is going to come back and see what they're going to do. I kind of think they're going to hit AMD pretty hard because they got embarrassed this year because of AMD's performance. But I think AMD are now also next year we have seen them as the person the place to go for best bang for buck. Next year, I don't think that'll be the same anymore. I think whatever they're going to release next year will be a little bit more jacked up in terms of pricing. They're going to.
higher tier.
Yeah, I think I don't like. The cool thing about them is obviously everyone, especially in Australia, everyone loves an underdog, and so AMD have been that for us for a little while. But I do think next year, whatever they'll release won't be the same hard-hitting stuff as this third gen. And will be priced pretty weirdly. And I think Intel will then once again just kind of clean the floor. And that's on the CPU side of things. But the other thing that would be interesting is I think RGB is going to
Dwindle out?
Dwindle out, yeah.
Yeah? Oh,
It's already
that'd be cool.
starting to.
Yeah.
But I do think it will. It won't go away completely. You can never get rid of it. But I do think
like a rash.
Something we need to talk about? Or? Can that be talked about later?
We'll talk about it next year, 2020.
just subscribe to the God Tier Patreon and you can
Hear
find
the
out
rash
about
story.
everything. But yeah, I do think RGB is going to take a back seat.
Okay.
But I'm not entirely sure. I think maybe airflow focused designs will come in for cases. In particular, I'm not going to put a lot of money on it, but I do think mesh will start to come back. But I'm very interested to see companies take that and try and make it look modern.
Yes.
Because that's hard to do because mesh looks outdated. But I think, with case design, that's where it's going to go. For us in particular, small form factors will still be king. A lot of people just want to build bigger in terms of they want better performing hardware, but they also want to go smaller. So smaller cases will still be pretty cool and reign supreme in terms of design choice. Yeah, that's my prediction for next year. We'll see how we'll check in this time next year.
That's
We'll see how we
right.
go. Yeah.
I'll have to make sure you guys are on for the last one of next year.
Yeah.
And do it
Locked
again.
in.
Yeah.
Locked in.
First thing for my calendar.
That's right.
Actually, I think we're just going to get a strike for copyright there from Eddie McGuire.
Oh, because we locked it in.
Oh.
Oh, no, Eddie, please. You already have enough
Please,
money.
Ed.
It's okay, Eddie.
My mate Ed.
Edo,
mate, Ed.
please.
Good bloke. Good bloke.
Yeah.
Have you met him?
No, but good bloke.
Do you reckon?
Do you
I
know?
reckon.
I don't know.
People have never called him a shit bloke.
That's true.
The evidence is there.
It's there. It's been around long
Indisputable
enough.
evidence right there.
I mean,
No one said
anyone
otherwise.
knows the
I
shit
don't know.
bloke? I don't think so.
And that's my case, Your Honour.
I'm out. Gotta go feed my
Gonna go feed
turtle, my
turtle.
goldfish.
That's right.
For me, I would like to see 4K become more of a norm. They always seem to be releasing later, better, more improved stuff. But 4K's been around for a while now, and it hasn't really become too much of a norm yet, and I want to see that. And that will probably mean that graphics cards prices, basically every price of everything needs to come down, which will be a big effort for next year, but I just sort of see that happening over the next few years more so. But I would like to see it sooner rather than later, because I think we're there.
Yeah.
Right? It's just the prices of stuff that's holding people back. And yeah,
I think 4K like has consequences though, more in the fact that with 4K there's a lot more detail, so they need to put a lot more effort into games.
yeah,
True.
They need to put you need to work out hard drive space for 4K stuff too, and textures, data storage. Like, it's awesome. I'm also very scared if everything goes to 4K, because then we have an advantage in terms of content creation with cameras. Not everyone uses over a 1080p screen, and most people watch content on their phones.
Exactly.
So being able to shoot in 4K, then crop that down to 1080p means we've got more real estate. But also we can, don't always have to shoot in 4K for these resolutions, and we can save on storage space and stuff. But yeah, so like there's like that part of 4K which I'm worried about. But in terms of visuals and stuff, it does look pretty cool. So,
but everything sort of comes along with it, right? Like our SSDs are now massive, and you can get 1 terabyte SD cards and stuff like that. Like,
you definitely can. I think SSDs are definitely becoming more affordable, but like I think 2 terabyte is like near the top end of like a consumer would buy, because they're like $700 for 4 terabyte or something like that. Like that's so like everything does have to come down.
yeah, that's
You're
what
right.
if everything comes
graphics
down in
card.
price, then the entry point becomes easier. And, but I think maybe more so on game developers developing for 4K. That's where we need to look at. But I don't know anything about game development, so
Neither.
I would have no idea how that goes. But it would be cool to see like 4K become more of a norm, I think. With every sort of aspect of that, and I know that that's going to come at a cost. I would like to see everything.
See everything.
Please, companies, just
a low cost,
make
please.
everything cheaper, please. For us norms, we can't afford it. That doesn't-
Bruh.
Can't you see? I'm
Disposable
actually
income,
wanting
bruh.
to get a 4K screen right now. Just some company give me a 4K screen.
Hashtag sponsored.
Please. Sponsor us, please.
Hashtag sponsor me.
Please. Eddie, please sponsor us.
Eddie! Old mate Eddie!
Mine were mainly similar to yours. I'm curious to see how the AMD Intel thing changes next year, if Intel does smack back at them kind of thing, go no
I have a feeling they
kind of
won't.
thing. Yeah, see, I feel either they really won't or they will. Like, there's not going to be, like, they're not just going to sit in the middle. It'll be like either they'll not even try or they'll demolish them.
From what I've read with their latest series or their technologies, and this is to my knowledge and how much I know about CPUs.
That's what I found on Wikipedia.
They can't actually get their CPUs down to the sizes of what AMD have.
Yeah.
And therefore won't be able to compete with them at the same range for like 2 or so years.
Ooh,
that was what
interesting.
Yeah, that was what I was reading about. It was somewhere like, I don't know if it's exactly 2 years, but somewhere around there. The article I was reading was suggesting that it would be a while before Intel could catch up. So they either need to release something completely different, or just wait it out.
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Interesting. Yeah. I think the other thing I was curious about for next year, you okay
Be
there?
interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm good.
The other thing I was interested in, and once again, because I have a weird obsession with this, is just VR. I'm just curious to see how VR goes next year, especially with, Half-Life Alex is coming out in March. So I'm kind of curious to see what that does for VR. Like, already, tons of people have bought VR headsets for this. Like, the amount of money I imagine has been spent on VR headsets in the last month since Half-Life Alex was announced. I wouldn't imagine it just goes pew and skyrocketed. So I'm really curious to see what that does for VR next year and where that goes from there. Like, if it does end up being the kind of catalyst for VR taking more of a mainstream seat, or I imagine if it kind of bombs, it could be the death of VR in a way. It could be this is just a fad and we're not going to worry about it.
It's actually funny because I think it was last year that I suggested, or it could be really cool to do streaming in a 360-degree angle.
Oh, yeah.
And that way you could also implement VR streaming sort of thing. So if someone was watching a stream in VR, they could feel like they're there in the room with the person. Like if we had a camera right here in the middle, 360 degrees, they could be watching in VR and be like, oh, Jono's talking. Oh, Sarah's talking, sort of thing. And they'd be able to feel like they're in the room.
There. Yeah, because right now if you're streaming something, if you're streaming a VR game, people would just watch the flat screen of the game. It's not like they can chuck on their headsets and join you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that would be cool if you could, though. That'd be interesting.
With the boxes that you can get, you can just put your phone in there. I think that just the limitation is how you would go about streaming the content,
so that you can
watch it, because there is content you can upload.
Yeah,
but there's no I haven't seen any streaming 360 degrees.
Well, let us know if you've seen.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, in the description, in the subscribe.
Discord. Hit us up
Discord.
in the Discord. Shoot us an at everyone.
So please take over, please.
Okay, so let's move on to our final topic of the pod today. The pod.
I still like that we call it the pod.
Yeah, people call it the pod. You don't know that.
No, it's weird.
Pod.
I don't want to be part of it.
It's the pod.
You don't want to be part of the pod.
Just join the pod,
As
Alex.
long as we're all in the pod together.
We're
that's
all
fine.
in the pod
Yeah,
together.
the hot pod.
A nice frothy broth of pod.
Making it weird.
Bit of frothy pod. That's gross.
Welcome to the frothy pod.
frothy pod.
All right,
Please help me.
We're nearly through. It's okay. You nearly did it, man. Okay, so the final topic today is... So I'm just going to get right into it. Puma released gamer socks for some reason. I don't know, all I can say is we live in a society, we
live in a society
where someone was like, this is a great idea.
Yeah.
I wonder, I reckon this was the boss's sons or daughter, and they're like, oh, Dad, I really want to do this. This is going to be the sickest idea. And nobody else in that conference room were game enough to be like, no, this is a shit idea.
Terrible. Don't do it.
They're not going to say that with
true.
the boss and the boss's son in the same room.
Yeah.
So now they're all sitting there kicking themselves I work for a company that made gaming socks.
Yeah, it's such a strange thing. I don't understand.
Although we have made gaming gloves, so...
I can kind of get that though, because you use your hands. What do you do with your feet?
I'm glad you can defend us. So,
yeah.
I can understand hands because you use your mice.
Your mice.
You have multiple mice. Just gaming. And if you're using a controller, sometimes your hands do actually get my hands are kind of fat and stumpy. So with I'm just going to out myself here. So when I actually use a controller for too long, my hands actually hurt, especially if it's a PlayStation controller because of the thumbsticks. My hands physically will ache.
How's your hand?
Because
mine suck. I'm on stump side too.
Yeah, so you'd probably have the same thing. So
I think you got beautiful
You're not
fingers.
too bad, actually.
You should really stop
What
that
is
one.
going on there?
Don't look at it.
Don't look at it. He was showing it off on purpose.
Yeah.
No,
You're like, oh no, don't look at my hair. Don't look at it.
Oh, don't look at me. Don't look at my
I'm so self-conscious. Don't look at them.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no, don't worry about this finger.
Don't ask about it. No.
No, from sports, I've jarred this finger too much.
No.
Too much.
Yeah, look, like lost the. Yeah, so it goes back a bit.
That's all right.
Yeah,
That's
it's
terrifying.
extra flexibility.
Yeah, exactly. Like
Maybe if you get that's my phone.
Oops.
Sorry. Maybe if you get like hit in the other direction enough, it'll knock it back.
I don't think so. I think
No.
it's gone.
It's done.
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
We don't talk about it.
that's
We
my
don't-
gaming finger.
Actually, I
Need
had
some
this joke
gaming
that,
gloves,
like,
Alex.
it looks like it's pregnant.
It does.
Like it's a.
Alex's
look at my
pregnant
normal
finger.
Like, this,
It's so
this
good.
Is normal, right?
I'm actually in my second term.
It's been that way for
A long
7
time.
years.
Yeah.
Permanent.
Wow.
Permanent second term. What?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from my hand.
Yeah, so gamers. So yeah, I can
Yeah.
understand gamer gloves because, like I said, you use your hands, makes sense. I don't really get the feet idea, bit weird. But anyway, so they cost $160 here in Australia for a pair of these socks things, and they've been specifically designed mainly for console gamers. For some reason.
Because only they would buy them.
Well, it's designed for indoor and in arena use.
Yeah.
So I guess they think that esports people want to
Yeah.
wear them, but they could just wear normal shoes.
I sort of
I don't
see
understand.
a little bit of each side here where they're like, oh, this is like a practical use for them. And then other people are like, no, that's stupid. So like, I wonder if they're targeting people that go to arenas, like go to PAX and whatever, esports arenas, and they're targeting those sorts of people and they can wear them around there. But like, because I think they are sort of like more like shoes.
Yes, they are.
Are they?
Than socks. Yeah, because
Well,
you can wear them out. But
But they're like kind of cushiony and like
yeah,
kind of like socks.
but then on the other side, it's like, why are you marketing that they have different modes?
Yeah, so that's what I. So yeah, this is what this says. It says it delivers seamless comfort, support, and grip, so gamers can adapt to different active gaming modes and game their best.
So like when you're in a tense 1v3 situation, you can activate claw grip.
You can like be nice and like stuck to the ground.
It's just your
like,
stance, right? It has nothing to do with your hands.
but this is the thing. Most
Yeah,
people,
it was in like your feet are now curling
Yeah.
over like
Yeah.
this, like a
yeah,
talon.
to hold you down. Well, like as a kid, whenever me and my brother would play racing games,
Yeah.
we would always like, as we're racing, we would go like this with our feet as if that would make us go faster. So maybe they're encouraging people to like run with their
maybe.
feet. I don't know. Like
Life
I
hacks.
just,
Yeah.
because I feel like most people in their game, feet just kind of sit there, don't they?
Don't do anything.
Don't think I do anything with them.
There is some games like Just Dance where you might
Yeah.
need this sort of thing.
Yeah, but I'd just
I
wear
mean-
normal shoes with Just Dance.
Yeah.
So I don't,
you could.
because
yeah.
you just kind of wear what dancers wear, which is usually just big, chunky sneakers.
Yeah.
So yeah, like true, you can maybe use it for that.
There might be some use cases, but I wouldn't say that it's going to appeal to the gamers.
I don't know who it could appeal to. Like,
Yeah, there's going to be a very small case. I think that people just want things because they think it's cool, or
yeah,
like that. Those people that buy shoes on the regular, and just like think shoes are really awesome, sort of
I
thing.
feel attacked. Nah. I don't know. I really do think it was the case of it was the boss's son/daughter.
yeah. Honestly, I think that's pretty accurate.
It could be.
Yeah.
Seriously, I think someone high up is like, "This is gonna be grand," and everyone else is like, "Nope,
No, it's not.
It's gonna be terrible." But I'm
Yeah.
not gonna tell you because I love my job.
Yeah, right. Well, yeah, because as Alex was saying, there's 3 modes. There's seek mode, attack mode, cruise, and defense mode. And we were discussing this the other day. We were like, how do you switch modes? Is there like a
Yeah, how do you
button,
switch
or
modes?
do you have to sit in a certain
You
way? Or
tap your big toe once
for attack mode?
for attack mode.
Well, can you
tap
guys like
your-
separate your pinky toe from
Yeah.
this? Can you do this?
Yeah.
So that's how you
Yes,
engage
I
it.
can.
Oh, yeah, clutch.
Claw mode?
Putting gear with your
Seek and
feet?
destroy. It's so dumb.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird, hey.
Terrible.
Yeah.
But I mean, there
Bit of that.
isn't anything that sort of targets the gaming industry in terms of shoes, is there?
No,
True.
not exactly.
I
Like
think so.
targets them for a purpose. The only thing you get is game collaborations for shoes, or like Sony released a sweet pair of Nikes not too recently, or like Nike teamed up with Sony and created a collab, bruh. But no, there isn't exactly like the esports shoe.
Yeah.
Because like I don't think
Because there's not something that's needed.
Yeah.
Like you don't need
That's the
anything.
thing.
Like you can wear anything and it doesn't matter. It doesn't affect your performance.
Like they're also making a gaming chair, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense
Yeah,
because you
that's
game
cool.
in
Yeah.
a chair.
Yeah.
Like, yes, you need one of those probably, especially if you're sitting there for a long time. I just don't get the shoes. Like, I'm sorry, I cannot think of any reason why anyone would go, boy, my gaming would be improved if I had some gamer shoes. Like, I just don't understand.
There might be those sort of people out there. You never know.
I mean, true, I guess. Maybe people who game with their feet. Like,
There are those people.
maybe
Yeah.
that could maybe work. I get that, but
Dance Dance Revolution.
that's a game.
boy, we are stretching so far.
Yeah, we are.
We're like
We're like-
Elastigirl right now. We're
clasping
just
it, being
I don't know.
we're trying real hard.
Yeah.
Puma,
If
we're
they,
Puma.
yeah,
Puma?
I mean, if they
Puma.
can't tell
Puma?
us
Yeah.
within the first like paragraph of who it's designed
Yeah,
for, then
like-
what hope do they have? Sorry, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Unless it was a publicity stunt.
maybe
Oh, it could have been.
I completely forgot Puma existed until these.
that is true. I kind of
So,
did too.
Yeah, true.
I cracked it.
I mean, I've got
Solved
their drink
it.
bottle, but sure. I didn't
You
bring it
don't
in.
look
but
at your drink bottle when you
if
drink.
you watch our latest video, I think that it was being released.
Ah, there's a little
There's the Puma drink bottle.
Yeah,
that,
that's right.
Puma.
Gets displayed there. So
Puma.
it could be. Yeah, I was thinking that as well. I'm like, surely this is a joke.
Yeah.
This is just like a
It's
stunt.
just like 4 months earlier.
Yeah, that's right. Very early April Fools.
Yeah.
They're playing the long game, boys.
But I reckon it's either gonna be a massive hit. Like people are gonna love them. People are gonna egg on other people to get them. Like once someone has them, it's like,
Yeah.
what? You don't have a pair? Oh,
They just have to get like a few
your skills
streamers.
must be terrible.
Get a few streamers to
suck.
get it,
Exactly.
and then done.
Or it could just flop.
Yeah, true.
And then they can be like, oh yeah, it was just a marketing
We're just
stunt.
joking.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's fine.
It wasn't actually serious,
Yeah.
guys.
And then little Jimmy is grounded for a month because he made his dad make the game that
Yeah, and
sucks.
they lost millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Freaking Jimmy.
Hey, Jimmy. All right, I reckon that's probably about it, lads.
But
I think we've
Mate, you
killed
didn't feed
Jono.
your turtle.
Yeah, dude, it's going to starve.
yeah, oh well.
Or maybe it's good because your goldfish isn't dead.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
True.
Keep
True.
your goldfish for another day.
Good
yeah,
point.
Save your goldfish.
Yeah.
Yes,
Not that it'll remember you anyway.
that's true. Oh, man, it's the last podcast of the year. You can't end it on a sour
sorry.
note.
Dude, that was gnarly.
Gnarly is good, isn't it?
Nah, it can be both, actually.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
yeah,
I
yeah.
thought
gnarly can
gnarly
be
was
like
good.
rough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I guess
Like, I'm gonna
that's
go
why
down
surfers
these
say it.
gnarly trails, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
true.
Yeah, true.
Rough.
All right.
Rough.
Yep, that hold
Yeah.
up in court.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
That hurt.
Your imaginary goldfish being devalued like
What do
that.
you mean imaginary?
What?
Yeah.
I
What?
mean, what? Thank you guys so much for watching today. Remember to follow all our socials, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Join our Discord so you can submit topics for us in future. And go check out our YouTube channel as well, unless you're watching this on the YouTube channel. In which case, thanks for watching this whole
Follow
time.
my personal Instagram at
Well, if anyone did want us to actually plug ourselves.
Oh, really?
So if you guys do have anything you want to plug, feel free to plug it.
I mean,
yeah.
we are looking at doing a Twitch stream. Sarah,
No, like your personal stuff.
yeah, you, myself, and Taylor.
Oh,
when
we
he gets
are?
around to it.
Oh yeah, everybody
probably
badger
be
6
at least,
months by the
yeah.
time Taylor actually does it.
Yeah,
Everybody
I-
badger Taylor to do a stream for us.
Yeah,
Thanks.
everyone, please do because
Just harass him
Or don't. Because
Daily.
I think maybe like
I think he does it just
just to spite us. Yeah,
despite
true,
us
true,
because
true.
I keep telling him and he's like, if you keep telling me, I'm never gonna do it. I'm like,
Yeah, but then
So
if
it's a
we don't
lose-lose.
tell you, you're never going to do it either.
yeah, it is.
So
maybe I'll have to create my own Instagram account that's worthy of people following.
Yeah, I know, right?
yeah, true.
I don't have anything.
You can follow me on Flickr at
Check out my portfolio. Oh.
Yeah,
Jono
I
and
got nothing.
35.
All right, cool.
Cool.
Well, that was
Sweet.
Yeah, it's cool. Yep.
Cool. All right, does anybody have an outro for us today to end the year?
Have we still not worked that out yet?
No, the outro is finding out an outro. That's
okay.
the
That's
gag.
how we do it.
That's the gag. And you remember, you're ending out the year, so no pressure.
Okay.
Whole year.
Mine was good last time, wasn't it?
What was yours last time?
I don't know. I just did like a movie trailer voice.
Oh,
and
yes. And then you said the name
said
wrong.
Name wrong and
Yeah.
stuffed everything up. So, John, it's your turn this time.
Well,
Tune in next time for
Thermaltake. Thank you
podcast.
so much for watching. This has been a great time
think
with
you
my
just
two
got
friends.
American.
Bye.
Yeah.
See ya.
Get out.
I love you all.
Bye.
And then I'm just gonna walk off like this.
Okay, yeah. And then walk out the door. And make sure you make a loud noise so we can hear the door.
Yeah.
That's the end of the workday for me. So.
All right.
See ya.
All right.
That ends that then. All
Cool.
right, Happy New Year, everyone.
Yeah. Be safe.
Bye.
See you next year.
Thank you so much for sticking around all the way to the end. We do hope you enjoyed this episode of Thermaltake. If you want to join in the discussion or maybe even submit a topic for us to talk about in future, make sure to jump over to our Discord. We also do weekly giveaways there as well. Remember also that these video podcasts are available audio a week earlier. So jump over to our Spotify, SoundCloud, or Apple Podcasts to listen earlier. And we'll catch you on the next one.